Has Putin found Patriot's weak spot with a new cheap Russian missile that is now burning through Odessa's ports and putting Ukraine under fresh pressure? Is this new weapon too fast for Ukraine's interceptor drones to catch, yet too cheap for Patriot missiles to be used efficiently against it? Is Russia now unleashing mass Banderol salvos from secret launchers in Crimea, turning occupied territory into a hidden missile platform? Could Putin's roughly $150,000 missile be the weapon crippling Ukraine's vital ports, especially as Odessa's shipping hubs come under repeated attack? Can Ukraine stop Russia's new low-cost missile threat before it becomes the next major weapon in the Black Sea air war? Russia's new low-cost Banderol missile is reshaping the air war over Ukraine's Black Sea coast, giving Moscow a cheaper way to strike repeatedly. Russia is reportedly expanding its use of the new S8000 Banderol cruise missile in Ukraine, moving the weapon into more frequent combat use. The weapon is said to be hitting Odessa's ports more often than Shahed drones, showing just how quickly the strike pattern has changed. Reports now suggest Russia may be firing Banderol missiles from ground launchers as well, not just from drones or helicopters. Experts told Defense Express that the scale of the recent salvos cannot be explained by Orion drones alone, pointing to a different launch method. Ground launchers in occupied Crimea are now seen as the most likely explanation, especially after repeated mass attacks on coastal targets. Notably, Bloomberg reported that Banderols now account for most strikes on Greater Odessa's ports, making them the dominant threat in that sector. The Banderol missile was first launched in 2025, and it has quickly moved from test weapon to battlefield problem. It is also known as the S8000 cruise missile, the designation used in Russian and Ukrainian reporting. The missile has a top speed of about 650 km per hour, making it faster than many slower attack drones. Its cruising speed is around 520 to 560 km per hour, giving it enough pace to challenge existing defenses. The missile's approximate range is about 500 kilometers, allowing it to reach deep into coastal Ukraine from Crimea. It carries a 114.3 kilogram high-explosive fragmentation warhead, which is enough to seriously damage port and infrastructure targets. The missile is powered by a Chinese-made SW-800 Pro A95 turbojet engine, underlining the foreign components tied to the system. Ukraine estimates Russia now builds hundreds of these missiles each year, raising the threat of larger and more frequent strikes. According to Bloomberg, the new missile fills the gap between slow Shaheds and much more advanced Kh-101 cruise missiles. Banderol missiles are reportedly too fast for Ukraine's interceptor drones to catch, reducing the chance of a cheap aerial intercept. Officials also said the missiles are too cheap for regular Patriot interceptor use, forcing Ukraine into a costly air defense dilemma. Vladislav Vlasic said, and I quote, "This is a very dangerous gizmo. The majority of strikes on the port infrastructure in Odessa are with Banderols." Unquote. Bloomberg estimates each missile costs between $150,000 and $300,000, which helps explain why Russia can fire them in large numbers. Greater Odessa handles key Ukrainian grain exports, so every strike there threatens both trade and Ukraine's wider economy. Russia is launching many of these Banderols from occupied Crimea, making the peninsula a key launch platform. More than 20 ships have reportedly been damaged, showing the scale of the threat to Black Sea shipping. Port activity has slowed significantly in recent months, as repeated strikes force operators to delay or reroute traffic. Officials are now seeking tighter sanctions on foreign components, hoping to choke off the parts Russia needs to keep producing these missiles. Russia may be expanding Banderol production as Shahed drones face more interceptions, pushing Moscow toward a new strike mix. Defense Express claimed faster missiles could make future strikes larger and more frequent, increasing pressure on Ukraine's already strained air defenses. Ukraine now faces growing pressure to field cheaper defenses against high-speed threats, or risk falling behind the pace of Russia's new missile campaign. Russia claimed on August 2 that its forces captured 2 more Ukrainian settlements as fighting continued across multiple frontline sectors. Russia's defense ministry said its troops had taken control of Volgovka in the Kharkiv region and Lubetskoy in the Zaporizhia region. The ministry credited Russia's Zapad group of forces with capturing the settlement of Volgovka during recent combat operations. Russian Defense Minister Andrei Belousov congratulated the troops involved, praising them for the latest battlefield gains. Russia also claimed it carried out precision strikes on Ukrainian ports and key transportation infrastructure during the latest operations. The defense ministry said fuel storage tanks at the port of Odesa were destroyed in the reported precision missile strikes. Russia further claimed a tugboat modified to launch uncrewed surface vessels was struck at the port of Mykolaiv. Russia's Dnieper group of forces said it also attacked Ukrainian positions near Orakov, Preobrazhenka, and Yulievka. The ministry claimed Ukrainian forces lost more than 40 personnel, 28 military vehicles, 6 electronic warfare stations, and 1 artillery gun. Russia also reported striking Ukrainian drone production facilities, storage sites, and deployment areas during the latest offensive operations. A Russian drone struck a Rozetka warehouse in the Kyiv region on August 1st, killing 1 employee and injuring 7 others. The attack hit the company's logistics facility in Brovary, located northeast of the Ukrainian capital, Kyiv. Rozetka said around 270 employees were working inside the warehouse when the Russian drone struck the facility. The company identified the employee killed in the attack as Volodymyr Melnichenko and confirmed his death. Rozetka said the injured workers received medical treatment, while 1 person remained in serious condition after the strike. The warehouse attack followed Russia's large-scale missile and drone barrage against Kyiv and surrounding areas earlier the same day. Ukrainian officials said the wider assault damaged residential buildings, industrial facilities, a school, and the Lithuanian embassy. The strike came after Ukraine intensified attacks on Russia's Wildberries logistics centers in recent days. Ukrainian officials have claimed that Wildberries logistics facilities support Russia's broader military supply and logistics network.
$25 करोड़ गरीब गरीबी को परास्त करके बाहर निकले।
For the good of our nation, let's work together and let's truly make America great again.
The fastest news breaks.
Requested PM saying that look, you will have to speak to Putin and to Zelensky.
The biggest newsmakers.
The relationship with India is probably the most important bilateral relationship the U.S. will have for the rest of this century.
The capital delivered quite an election result today.
Expert analysis.
The million-dollar question today is how to stop this dance of death.
Ground reports.
I'm standing at the crossroad of the Kumbh Mela. Behind me are more than 100 entry ghats.
Long-form interviews.
Exclusionary politics is reflected in Manipur case as well. You don't bother because this is a small state.
Have you ever wondered what happens when a banking dynasty meets tides of world history, intrigue, and a dash of myth?
Why exactly did the US topple the Sheikh Hasina government?
HD videos. We don't just break news, we break it down.